Assalamu alaikum. Welcome once more to the first edition of the eTourism Revolution Talks, an exchange hub to discuss the future of tourism, usually in a short format composed by powerful talks from experts around the world. This session is part of the IBN Battuta Footsteps series, part 2. We bring top global innovators to give us their advice and guidance into their areas of expertise. Welcome to this fantastic talk. I'm your host, 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃. And today I'm honored to have 3 leading halal tourism experts in our program. Welcome to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you please, each one of you, take a minute to introduce yourselves, say your name, what you do, and where you are based, please? Thank you. Brother Aftab, please.
Yes, my name is Aftab Ur Rehman Rana. I'm based in Islamabad, the capital city of Pakistan. I'm president of Sustainable Tourism Foundation and also a member of National Tourism Coordination Board and also the member of Board of Directors of Pakistan Tourism Development Corporation, which is the national body for the promotion of tourism in Pakistan. I'm basically associated with travel and tourism since 1988 and have worked in various projects as a consultant, as a manager, as a frontline worker. So I'm still busy with various projects with World Bank and USAID and Asian Development Bank, and also giving a lot of my time voluntarily to the government of Pakistan and also the provincial governments to develop policies and plans and strategies for the promotion of tourism in Pakistan.
Thank you, brother. It's a privilege to have you here. Brother Ahmed, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First of all, before I introduce myself, I would like really to thank you, Brother 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗲, as well to thank you, the World Halal Tourism Exchange, to give me this great and golden opportunity to meet all of you here and to introduce ourselves as well, our companies and our products. My name is Ahmad Sarhan. I am the CEO and founder of Highlands Travel in Jordan and Jerusalem. Highlands Travel based in Jordan, in Amman, the headquarters, and we have almost about 13 branches and representative worldwide. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, our company Highlands Travel is a very good company and successful in the country, and we have very good position here. This is because of the 2 reasons. All the time I mention this. The first reason from Allah Azza wa Jal, and the second because of the support of all our partners worldwide.
I'm so happy to have your brains here with us to share the beautiful things that Jordan and Jerusalem has for us for the next upcoming weeks and months when people can go there. Brother Aftab, please. Sorry, Brother Kamran.
Oh, Islam, thank you, 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗲, and once again, I'll repeat also, thank you for inviting us and to meet such esteemed colleagues and to be in the good company and sharing the best practice and knowledge with our colleagues in this critical time for the tourism industry. So my name is 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗲, and I'm the founder of Holiday Bosnia, which is a tour operator for Bosnia and the Balkans region, which is the surrounding countries around Bosnia. I'm not Bosnian, in case it didn't look like. I'm from the UK, but I've been involved in Bosnia for 23 years. So it's my passion, and sometimes they say I know Bosnia better than the local Bosnians do. I'm also one of the pioneers in halal tourism, because I was involved with a lot of people when they were setting the original concepts and ideas up about 7-8 years ago. And so I wanted to put in a certain type of tourism, and I've been very happy and privileged to be able to do so. We have offices I'm based in Dubai. We have offices in London, Dubai, and Sarajevo. The Dubai and London offices are for sales and marketing, and Sarajevo is our operational team. We've won numerous awards as well for our work, and so I'm very happy and privileged to be able to be in this company of esteemed colleagues and to share what knowledge I have with everyone else.
And it's fascinating the work that you've been doing in Bosnia and following up your work, and it's really, really amazing. I would start maybe to make a general questions. What type of halal-friendly experiences can a tourist have in each of one of your countries? So I will start maybe the way we've started with introduction. Brother Aftab, Brother Ahmad, and Brother Kamran, please.
Thank you, 𝗪𝗃𝗃𝗃, and first of all, thank you very much for the Halal Tourism Exchange for organizing this session. As you know, that Pakistan is very strategically located in Asia Pacific region, and on one side we have the region of Middle East, and on top the China, and then the Europe. So we are right on the hub of the big tourism markets. And being a Muslim country, Pakistan is very much aligned with the needs and requirements of the Muslim tourist and halal tourism, because already the facilities and everything is as per the requirements of halal tourism in Pakistan. So if we look at the country, Pakistan has a very unique endowment of tourism attractions in Pakistan. If you look at the landscape beauty, Pakistan has world high ranking mountains, including 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗵𝗃, and hundreds of other peaks above 7,000-meter peaks. You'll be surprised to know we have 5 peaks over 8,000 meter out of 14 in the world, and more than 5,000 glaciers, and some of them of the longer than even 60, 70 kilometer long. So the mountain part of the North Pakistan is a very, very rich in adventure tourism experiences. People can come and do the mountaineering, rock climbing, paragliding, river rafting, kayaking, canoeing, and various other winter sports. So there's a huge range of adventure tourism available in the north of Pakistan. And then if you move over towards south, there are a lot of interesting destinations which have a rich historical past and a cultural background, and a very, very diverse living culture of Pakistan. And it's really a country which I believe is a country of contrast. I mean, in a one country, you can find the whole world of tourism attractions, even it's adventure, it's a religion tourism, it's a culture tourism, it's a shopping tourism, it's a sports tourism, many different forms of tourism opportunities we have in Pakistan. Although Pakistan is not on the global tourism map as a destination of halal tourism, because so far we haven't proactively promoted this halal tourism in Pakistan. We're just going to start it now, adopting. We already consider that all our tourism is halal tourism, because all the requirements which are available for the tourism industry in Pakistan, they already align with the parameters of the halal tourism. So it's a very good destination, especially for the Muslim tourists from Middle East and from everywhere around the globe, where people can come and enjoy the great history and cultural diversity, the food and cuisine and the crafts, and there's lots of opportunity to do the real rough and tough and raw adventure in Pakistan. And there are lots of historical linkages. If you go back the history, the Indus Valley civilization has more than 9,000 years history available in Pakistan to witness and see the old sites. And then there's a Sufi tourism in Pakistan. As you know, that the most of the Islam in Pakistan came through the Sufis from Central Asia, and when Muhammad bin Qasim came from Arabia in 7th century. So there are lots of presence of Sufi people in Pakistan, and the shrines are hub of Sufi Islamic tourism. I think that is a great attraction for Muslim as well as non-Muslim tourists who have interest in Sufi tourism. So I believe Pakistan is a great destination for halal tourism, and we can make it a really, really good halal tourism product in coming years.
Just a parenthesis, Brother Aftab, what is the current situation at the moment? Can people travel to Pakistan, and are there any kind of restrictions? What is the process looks like?
Yes, right now, as you see, due to Corona, everywhere tourism is not going on, is restricted. There's a very limited number of flights coming and going from Pakistan, mostly bringing in overseas Pakistani and taking them back, or some business traveler. But the recreational tourist so far is not coming. because government has a policy that they will open up the domestic tourism first after Eid al-Adha, most probably from 5th to 6th August onward, in a controlled manner. The government has already developed SOPs and coordinated with the regional governments to make on-ground arrangement. And hopefully by September's beginning, we'll be able to entertain also the foreign tourists who will be coming from abroad. So the
Okay.
things are in the pipeline, and hopefully the condition of corona is also getting better in Pakistan. The death rates is going down. The cases of registered patients is going down. So it's getting quite better in coming days, and hopefully by September we'll be able to cater domestic foreign tourism both.
Okay. Okay. Brother Ahmed, please, I give you the word.
Okay, my brother, just as everybody knows, when we talk about the region here, all the region, especially the Middle East countries here, we consider it as a holy place. Now, mainly when we talk about Jordan and Jerusalem, by the way, when I say Jordan and Jerusalem all the time, because the relationship between Jordan and Jerusalem, we consider both of them as, one country for us in the country here, and we consider them honestly as, one soul in two bodies. For this reason, all the time we say Jordan and Jerusalem. Now, when you talk about Jordan and Jerusalem, it's the land of prophets, the land of Sahaba and companions. So wherever you go here in the country, you can find, an Islamic site here in our countries, such as just if I want to give you like an example. Okay, if you talk about the prophets, you talk about Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam, Prophet Yosha bin Nun, Prophet Harun, Prophet Yahya, as well Prophet Musa, the final destination of Prophet Musa, which is Mount Nebo here in our country. So the country has so many places to visit, for the Muslims. As well, we have many places also for Sahabi and companions, like ضرار بن الأزور, 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗿𝗃 bin Hasna, 𝗧𝗿 bin Haritha, Abdullah bin Rawaha, and 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗿𝗃 al-Azdi. Many places that you can find it here in the country. Plus, Prophet Isa alayhi salam. When you go also to Jerusalem side, everybody knows it's the land of Al-Isra and the Mi'raj. For this reason, when you talk about our countries, especially for the people when they go for Hajj or Umrah, all the time they call it Umrah Plus, okay, which means they go to visit, let's say, to perform Umrah, then after that they come to our country here to do the ziyarat here in our country. They stay almost 1 week or 10 days, they visit Jordan and Jerusalem. This is about the Islamic sites. Also, but in general, you talk about Jordan history as well, all the region here, Jordan, Jerusalem, and Egypt. The oldest history and the civilization, you can find it in our country. Not only Muslims, also before Islam. Like when you talk about the Hellenistic civilization, the Byzantine civilization, the Romans, the Nabateans, the Muslims, all these civilizations, you can find it in our country here. If you look also when you talk about the cave of the seven sleepers that mentioned in Ashab al-Kahfi, you can also visit the cave. If one of our brothers who visit Jordan, he will know these places very well. One of the important caves that mentioned already in Surah Al-Kahfi, you can visit this important place in Jordan. Also in Jerusalem, also you can visit the Dam of Darak, Aqsa Mosque, also Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam Mosque, or we call it Al-Haram al-Ibrahim. These are the most important places that we have in Jordan. And we will not forget also one of the important sites in the world, okay, one of the 7 world wonders, Petra. Everybody knows Petra, okay, this fantastic, amazing place. Everybody, if anybody wants to visit this place, he will never forget this amazing place, okay. Also, you talk about, let's say, adventure tourism. Okay, the country is full of the sites that can be, enjoyable for the people, like, Wadi Rum Desert or the Moon Valley, the Moon Desert, okay, which is amazing, also very, very nice. Anybody wants to visit our website, he can see many, many details about all these interesting places in our country. Also, Jordan has the beach where in the Red Sea. When you talk about the Red Sea, the most beautiful corals in the world, you can see it in the Red Sea. So people enjoy diving in this place, and even who take cares of this, let's say, activity in our country, the king himself. He likes, to take care of the corals and to invite the people to do the dive. Especially, our king, we call him here in Jordan the first tour guide. Because he likes, to do the trips, as well invite some his friends from outside to show him the real, history of our country, and to show them the most beautiful places that we have in the country. Also, during the past, let's say 3 years, okay, we created a new program. We call it 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Rasul. 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Rasul means like prophet steps. This program starts from Cairo, ends in Jordan. In this program, you will visit Egypt, let's say for 3-4 days, then cross from Egypt to Bayt al-Maqdis, stay there 3 or 4 nights, then back to Jordan to stay here 3 or 4 nights, then fly back from Amman. So this is 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Rasul program. And according also to what places, I invite the people to all the time just to check 𝗧𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 Rasul program on the YouTube that has many, many episodes that we have it here in our country. It talks mainly about halal tourism in our countries. The mic with you, brothers.
Brother Ahmed, in terms of the restrictions, because we're talking earlier on about Jordan now is like considered like a green country.
Yes.
How is it like people can go there? Are there any kind of limitations?
Yes. Now, my brother, 2 days ago, the day before yesterday exactly, we have like a conference from the Prime Minister office. Okay, he gave us the list of the 22 green listed countries, green countries. They are listed as green. Now, and let me just talk about how we control the situation, especially about the COVID-19 here in our country. Jordan, one of the first countries worldwide that locked down the country very early, exactly in 17 March, in order to control the COVID-19. We were suffering, honestly, just to stay at your house. It's not allowed you to go outside, even, to go to the market, not allowed. The government give us about 1 or 2 days every week just to go to buy your needs from outside. Okay, but what's the good results that we see it after that? Now, almost 2 months, okay, or 40 days, we don't have any COVID. People live free. They can go anywhere. They work normally. They travel normally inside the country. Even the masks, the face mask, they do not wear it. Okay, we do not have a new confirmed cases inside the country for almost 1 month, okay, which means we are relaxed. We live our life normally. We have some new confirmed cases, but just let me give the details about that. Okay, these confirmed cases, they are not inside the country. People who comes from outside, especially for the truck drivers who comes from other countries, and they come to Jordan through the border. Now, the country make a place for them for the quarantine. Anybody who comes from outside, he must be in a quarantine for 14 days. So when they stay at the border, and while they are in the quarantine for 14 days, the Ministry of Health check them over there, and they find out some confirmed cases among these people. For this reason, because they are, inside the borders of the country, they are registered, under Jordan name. But inside the country, as our government announce every day, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we do not have any confirmed cases. For this reason, their life is free, and we work normally, and we go everywhere without any restriction. The only restriction that we have it nowadays, only one restriction: not allowed to the people to go outside from 1 o'clock in the morning till 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. For the markets, not allowed to them to open after midnight, and which means, and this is very, very good, what we will do after this time.
Okay, thank you.
And
Brother Kamran.
Sorry,
what kind of Muslim-friendly experiences can we find?
I think the other brother wants to say something. We're going to say
Sorry,
something.
Brother Ahmad, you want to complement anything?
Yeah. Now, about the green listed countries, which is very important.
Yeah.
Now, the government gave us yesterday 22 listed countries. They are listed as green countries. I remember Canada, Italy, Malaysia, because Malaysia, we have, back-to-back groups from Malaysia every day, about 3 or 4 groups. Now, the people, they can come from these 22 countries to Jordan normally without any quarantine. The only thing that we needed from them, just the PCR test to be with them 72 hours before arrival. Now, I know that for these countries themselves, not open yet, like Malaysia, let's say, the government till now did not open the country, and they are still not allowed to the Malaysian people to travel. Now we are in discussion already with the 22 ambassadors inside our country, just to discuss the relationship with them, as well to put Jordan as a green country for them. People, they can fly from these 22 countries to Jordan, and Jordanian also, they can travel to their country without any quarantine from both parties. That's all, my brothers. Please, the mic with you.
Thank you, Brother Ahmad. Brother Kamran, the ball is in your side.
Okay, thank you. Well, most people, I mean, Muslims or non-Muslims who come to Bosnia are attracted by mainly the nature and the history. But in terms of halal, there's other things which you can put added value, right? So for Bosnia's nature, I think got one of the few unspoiled places in Europe. The rivers are extremely clean, very pure water. The forests, some forests are still, untouched still, since that's very rare in Europe. So the nature is great there. So people come there for relaxation and enjoying the nature. But for Muslims, there's some added value. So Bosnia, of course, has got the very unique culture there. It's 600 years of Islam in the heart of Europe. So you have an indigenous white European Muslim community there. And so that's quite interesting. So we focus a lot on those sort of things, the heritage and the culture of Bosnia, which I've always found fascinating. So I like to share that as well. So Bosnia, so there's a lot of things people can learn. They can come there, they can see the nature, they can enjoy the beautiful surroundings, fresh air, mountains. They can learn about the history, how Islam came to Bosnia. I mean, it came basically with Mehmet Fatih, Mehmet the Conqueror from the Ottoman times. So it came all the way there. And also Bosnia has a very unique historical aspects. I won't give a long lecture about it, but it's the only place in the whole history of Islam where everyone became Muslim overnight. So there's some stories behind that, how, because usually it takes generations, right? So so this has got a lot of interesting things there. It's got a special nature to it. Besides the history, I mean, there's also war. Of course, people know Bosnia from the war 25 years ago, unfortunately. But there's also stories about the war from World War I, because World War I started in Bosnia, in Sarajevo, almost more than 100 years ago now. And also in World War II, there were some stories there about what happened there. So there's a lot of interesting people who like education and knowledge about history. They will find a lot of things to see and to learn about in Bosnia. Besides that, there's also a very interesting culture, because it's a very interfaith culture. They call it actually the Jerusalem of Europe, right? Sarajevo, the capital city, is called Jerusalem of Europe because there's the Muslims, the Jews, the Orthodox, and the Catholics live there. You can go to one block and you can find, all the 4 religions, their religious buildings in one block. The Jewish people from Sarajevo, they came from after 1492, when the Jews were kicked out of Spain. So the Ottoman Empire welcomed them, and so they came to Sarajevo. So the Jewish community there goes back, since that era. So we can really like to highlight, especially in this current climate of tensions between Islam, everyone is having a bad image of Islam. So one of the things I really like to promote is that, look, Muslims have lived with everyone very peacefully. Of course, there's wars and but they've lived generally peacefully with all the other people. During World War II, when the the Germans took over Yugoslavia, which was a former country which Bosnia was part of, they started killing all the Jews. So the Muslims used to hide all the Jews. And one of the most holy books that the Jews had, which is a beautiful book, which is decorated, gilded, was under the floorboards of a Muslim house for 3 years, and the guy would have been killed if he got caught. So these are stories which we like to promote that change people's images about Islam. So of course it's halal tourism, but actually I want to do something more, that we have a message to spread, that change your image. If sometimes non-Muslims come to Bosnia, for example, and we have everyone coming, of course, and then we show them some things. We show, okay, look, during the war in 92 to 95, 1,000 masjids were destroyed, but not one single church. So then sometimes people ask the question, okay, why? And then you'll say, okay, in Islam it's not allowed. You're not allowed to destroy someone else. So we want to start that sort of thought process. So again, being in Europe, it's got a different dynamic, because people will say, well, hijab doesn't belong in Europe. It's an alien culture. Then we show them, look, even 50 years ago, women were walking around in full, niqab in the middle of Europe, right? So there's some things which we do in that. So the education culture thing is very interesting. Besides that sort of stuff, the religious side of things, it's also very attractive for Muslims because of the food. It's halal food, and it's excellent standard. The best meat, I can invite you all to come to Bosnia. The best meat you'll ever taste is in Bosnia. It's organic. It's from the mountains. The animals have been raised naturally, and everybody comes there. They love the Bosnian kebab. It's like a specialty. The only thing I miss a bit is a bit of spices. So if you want some spices, you better bring your own chili sauce. That's the only thing I can say. So besides the nature and the history and the culture, there's also adventure because of the mountains and the rivers. So there's excellent rafting, hiking, biking, horse riding. We also do the 4x4 mountain safaris. We do, if you want, paragliding. So all types of activities can be done there. Another area which would be interesting for Muslims would be winter tourism, because Bosnia in 1984 had the Winter Olympics there. So there's Olympic standard mountains there and facilities there. And for Muslims, it's very nice to come there, because usually they avoid skiing and all these sort of things, because usually in the non-Muslim environments, they have drinking in the hotels, and what they call après-ski, and partying. So there are hotels in Bosnia which we can take them to, which are halal, and there's no alcohol served, and it's very good for the family environment. So we have many Muslim guests coming in who never tried skiing before. So we can do the beginners lessons. So they can do the skiing, and they can do the snowboarding, even the snowmobile. So all these sort of things. So these are new experiences. So Bosnia represents an all year round venue. So you've got summer season, which is the peak season, but then afterwards you've got the winter season, which has its own attractions from there. So I mean, combined with the nature and the history and the culture and the Islamic traditions, it's got a lot of things to offer for Muslims.
It looks very, very interesting. How is it the situation in terms of travel bans? Do we still have them in Bosnia?
Yeah, there was a surge over the last couple of months. I mean, there was high corona incidence in the beginning, and then it became fine. It became so stable, and last week they opened up. Flights have been coming since the 1st of June, but they opened up for European Union and Schengen visa holders. That was last week, but my feeling is that it may change, because there's been a spike again in the region for corona, so it may be stopped again. But so far it's open for visitors, and there's various flights are coming in from the Middle East and Europe as well.
Okay, interesting. And just a question for maybe people that are listening right now. For example, from Europe, is there any visa requirement to go to Bosnia?
No, European Union, no requirements. Or Schengen visa, also no problem. Others have to apply for the visa. So it's visa on arrival for those nationalities. But for others, yeah, other nationalities that have to apply. But usually it's quite straightforward.
Okay, good. Brother Ahmed, I do the same question. Is it any requirement for visas to go to Jordan?
Now, for the visas in our country, here,
She's
we
like,
can the visa type just into three issues. The first issue, people can arrive to Jordan without having any visa, and they can enter to the country without any visa, nothing. They will be free of charge visa. And the second, people, they can buy the visa from the visa counter desk at the airport upon arrival. And the third type also, people, they must apply for the visa, let's say 3 weeks before arrival. We do the visas for them through the Ministry of Interior here in the country. Regarding Jerusalem also same. Some nationalities, they do not require any visa. They can enter without any visa. But for the Muslims, let's say like the Far East, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, they do not require. Malaysia or Indonesia, something like that, they must give us the form of the visa list 1 month before arrival. Then we do the visa for them to enter Jerusalem before arrival from our side, also through our office in Jerusalem. Now, the approval of these visas to Jerusalem, almost about 99% of the people, they get the visa, except some individual cases like they have legal problem or security issue. So we get a notice not allowed to this person to enter according to some security problems or something like that. So, but the rest for the visas, there is no problem at all. All the visas, we can make it in our hand, very easy, as I told you.
Okay, thank you. Brother Aftab, how is it in Pakistan like to require a visa at the moment? Because with all these restrictions, do we have like a time frame? Or is it something that is being processed by the embassies?
Yes, as per the new rules, last year government introduced online visa services and also on arrival visa services. Due to that, there was a quite convenient to get Pakistani visa by putting up document through online and getting an fee slip, and then you can get the visa on arrival at the airport. So there's quite easy process right now for most of the countries. Visa is not an issue to visit to Pakistan. And as I mentioned, that right now, because of the corona crisis, government is not encouraging foreign tourists to come right now. But I hope after Eid, when they will open up visa services, again, that service will be available online and people can get their visa online documentation, and on arrival, the stamping of visa on the passport. That's no problem.
Okay, that's good. I would maybe ask you as well, and because we are on a time frame that we're still waiting for things to develop in terms of people can go back to travel. So in terms of the cooperation between governments, hotels, travel associations, do you think that there has been collaboration in Pakistan, Jordan and Jerusalem, and in Bosnia, so that people are more reassured that when they travel that they are safe? Mr. Aftab, please.
Yes, Pakistan has a National Tourism Coordination Board, which is called NTCB. At the local level, we have the representation of all the provinces and the private sector tourism trade associations on this board. So there's a good mechanism available right now in the country to coordinate things at the national level. Then Pakistan is also an active member participating in the events of UNWTO. Rather, Pakistan is one of the founder member of UNWTO and has been participating in their meetings regularly, and also been participating in various international expos and ITB Berlin, London Tourism Mart, Arabian Tourism Mart, and various other the private sector tour operator usually go and project Pakistan's products in these events. As far as the regional level organizational cooperation, I think in 2021, we are having one of the regional meeting in Pakistan, in which most of the Asia Pacific and Middle East countries minister will be coming to Pakistan. And also we are expecting that the government is holding the World Tourism Forum 2021 in Pakistan. So large number of world tourism leader will be visiting Pakistan. You see the new government under the leadership of Imran Khan, is putting up a lot of effort to promote tourism in the country. And recently, they have developed a national tourism strategy, and the NTCB is working on developing a national tourism brand, which will have different product, including halal tourism as well as a new tourism product. So that will be most probably launched as soon as conditions are improved in Corona, hopefully along the World Tourism Day in September, maybe, or a little bit later. So things are very much aligned now, and Pakistani government is very much supportive in terms of developing regional cooperation and international cooperation and bringing stakeholders together, and promoting the best practices of sustainable and halal and other forms of tourism in Pakistan.
Okay, Brother Ahmed, would you like to complement what Brother Aftab said in the case for Jordan? I know that Jordan is managing things differently because the reality is also different. Well, alhamdulillah, there are not so many cases. But do you think that the conditions are gathered for people to travel there?
Yes, even we don't have any new confirmed cases during the past month. That does not mean also to avoid the safety issues or the safety matters. The safety matters in all the places are very important for everybody. At the air, starting, let's say, before the travel, okay, till arrival, till they be in their hotels. So we follow, as explained to you, we follow all the government instructions here in order also to secure all our people, all our family members when they arrive to our country, because for me, I consider every arrival to our country is a part of our family member. Now when they arrive to our country here, we follow the safety matters as well. For sure, we have cooperation at this moment, okay, with the 22 green countries that allow to them to enter to Jordan next week, okay, in order just to discuss the safety issue. And one important point I mentioned before, the PCR test 72 hours must be with every arrival before arrival to Jordan, okay. And the second also, one of the application that maybe some people they will not understand this point, okay, but here for every arrival before he stamp his passport in the counter desk, they will check with him. He must download an application, we call it Aman application. This Aman application is a smart application issued from our country here. Now any confirmed case inside the country, they will be registered in this application. Now when the people download, even here, all the Jordanian here, they download this application. Now when you are in contact or near anyone who was he has this virus, okay, now as I said, people must be in quarantine at the border before entering Jordan, right, for 2 weeks. Then after that they must be in another quarantine. Nowadays become 7 days. Before it was 2 weeks inside their houses, okay, but now they make it 1 week inside their houses. Now inside their houses 1 week. Now in case this person, let's say, left his house, okay, and he come closer to me or to any other one, okay, the application will send me a warning message automatically. You are near one of the confirmed COVID-19. Okay, this is automatically that we have it in our smartphones. For this reason, anybody arrives to our country, he must have this application. For this reason, the safety issue that we have in our country is very, very important in order just to secure all the people, as well to secure our families too,
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. So, and I think it's a good initiative, I would say. Brother Kamran, and because Bosnia is a very nature-focused destination, besides other aspects that you mentioned, will you see, for example, ecotourism, nature and wellness tourism grow in the next years in Bosnia?
Yes, definitely. We already, because we were not really along the lines of mass tourism anyway. We were focused on a quality type of approach and giving a high quality experience. And I think also, like Brother Ahmed mentioned, it's an important point actually, which he mentioned, is that when the guest comes, he's not a customer or client, he's like our family, because this is one of the elements of Muslim travel, which I really want to promote, that the Muslim tradition, right? You go to any village, any part of the world, whether it's in, Nigeria or Malaysia or, Tajikistan or Bosnia, we know the drill. You walk in, they'll, you take your shoes off, you come in, they'll welcome you, they give you coffee, tea, whatever, the food immediately. So this is, 1,400 years of in our traditions, right? So so we want to bring this. We don't want someone to come in, take some selfies and get out. Thank you very much, So we want to make that experience. So this is what we do. So yes, we do show them nature. We take them to places where locals know, which is not off the beaten track as well. So that's good. And regarding Corona, so of course, the Bosnian people themselves have been quite lucky, so they can get away into the nice countryside, breathing, nice clean oxygen. So yeah, they're a bit fortunate from that. But coming back to your point about the Corona and the government, I mean, unfortunately, Bosnia has its own political problem because, it's like, it's got its own issues. So there isn't really a unified tourism board. But there is, for example, Sarajevo has its promotion, which acts as the Bosnian promotion, for us. They're also at the national level, though, they do coordinate with the regional partners in the surrounding countries, like Croatia and Montenegro and so on. So there is some sort of coordination there. But in terms of the specifics for Corona itself, we haven't really seen a massive, like a government directive or government initiatives to try and do that. So what we've done is we've developed our own protocols in partnerships with the hotels, because we have all the good relations with hotels. So we've asked to look at their protocols and we sort of input in that. So we have our relationships with them. For ourselves, we develop our own thing. So we have obviously the sanitizers and masks everywhere. We put the plastic screen, in our vehicles, separating the passenger from the drivers. We have some infographics, inside to explain to them. And we don't try not to take people to really crowded places anyway, because it's nature. We have that. But there's obviously Sarajevo city centers, packed when it's tourism season. We haven't done any of that yet because of we haven't had any experience of that because of the lockdowns. But I think we're well prepared for that, and we put safety is top priority in all these situations. So, well, I hope this answered your question.
Okay, yeah, no, that's thank you very much. I think it's now it's a stage that people are doing their work locally, and we'll see how things are developing. But at least there is a, let's say, contingency plan for people to get to travel again. And I think this is really good because as a traveler, we need to have this kind of reassurances. I would like to ask now, so as a traveler, and this is like a more or less like a healthy competitive question in a way that I have a budget to travel and I want to go to the 3 places, but I can only go to one. Either is Pakistan, Bosnia, or Jordan. What makes your destination unique? Brother Aftab, please.
Very tricky question. You see, every destination something has unique in itself. I mean, it's not, you can compare Jordan with Bosnia or Bosnia with Pakistan. There's something unique in Bosnia, there's something unique in Pakistan, something unique in Jordan and Jerusalem and all other countries. So what we have specialty in Pakistan, I believe, which is very close to my heart also, especially for the Muslim tourists as well. Pakistani people, I believe, are the most hospitable people in the world. I mean, I have seen people traveling in Pakistan even without spending a single penny. You can believe they're traveling, they're eating, they're spending nights without a single penny. It's such a country. I mean, hospitality is in our blood. And Pakistani people, wherever you go, if they're poor, they're middle income, they are rich, whenever they meet foreigners, they're Muslims or non-Muslim, they open their heart, they open their houses, and they do their best to make them comfortable. So that is a very, very unique element in Pakistani society. All the Western media has not projected this. Maybe it's more like a destination where there has been bomb blast or there's a terrorist activities in the past. But there are experiences which people have enjoyed. I remember Kamran will also second me. I remember when Bosnian refugees came to Pakistan. They spent quite a few months in Pakistan. So they were
And
so
Pakistan
happy.
was involved as well.
Yeah, they were so happy here that many was planning to even stay back in Pakistan for their whole life. And the Pakistani armed forces, when serving in a peace forces in Bosnia, there were stories, left behind. I must say, Kamran will tell about that. So the hospitality in our culture, I think, is the best element which you cannot find anywhere else. Besides this, the diversity of landscape in one country, from the highest mountain to the Arabian Sea. We have 9 ecological zones. You can see the highest landscape of 8,000 meters with the beautiful gigantic peaks, and then the beautiful sandy beaches of Makran Coast, more than 700-kilometer long, not developed so far. They're excellent virgin beaches. And our beaches are not like the beaches of Europe. They're very private kind of places, and Muslim people can really love that kind of a beaches. And then all along the country, you see the great diversity of cultural heritage of different periods, starting from 9,000 to the recent Islamic era. So there's so much to show. We don't have time, otherwise I could have shown you some pictures of different places. And especially for the
we will
Muslim,
have another session, inshallah.
yeah, and especially for the Muslim tourists, if you want to see the most elegant and beautiful mosque anywhere in the world, Pakistan is the place. The historical mosques, which were built in 9th century onward, and their architecture is so great. And you see, Pakistan is a place which is a crossroad of different cultures. So we have a kind of amalgamation of various cultures in Pakistan, in the form of architecture, in the form of food, handicrafts. Women will love to buy the handmade stuff in Pakistan, the dresses, food, I mean, the bangles, the jewelries, and they'll I mean, there's so much to buy. There's so many colorful bazaars, and the products are really cheap. I mean, in Pakistan, you can travel in $10 and you can travel in $300. It depends how much your pocket can afford. Or you can travel even without spending anything, as I told you. Many people have been traveling like this. So is this a unique element in Pakistan in terms of the hospitality and great diversity of landscape and culture?
Thank you, thank you. Oh, well, it's difficult to beat that. Brother Ahmed.
Yes, my brother. And honestly, with this question, to be honest with you, you sent me back for many years ago. I remember when we established our company, we were looking for something unique, to deal with the people, not the normal way that we used for the travel agents to use it in order just to promote their packages. But honestly, what is the conclusion? The conclusion was, I remember. Money comes, money goes. The most important thing, the human relationship must remain forever. Okay, for
You
this
got a
reason,
point there.
yes, yes. For this reason, when I said and I mentioned before, for us, when anybody who arrives to our country to visit our country through our company, okay, we consider him seriously as he is one of our family member. Now, this is very, very good. Okay, and we keep in touch all the time. Every week we keep in touch with them. We send through the WhatsApp messages for everybody. Now, according to our statistics, let's say the last year, almost about 12,600 people we brought from outside, and the year also, the previous year also, almost about 10,000, something like that. So you are talking, we brought in the previous 5 or 6 years about 100,000 people. Now, we have in our friend list almost about 20,000 people, just the records in our smartphones. Now, when we go to visit their countries, and this is the problem that we face it when we go to their countries. Why? We keep in touch with all these people, honestly, as they are our real friends. And seriously, when I go to their country, I visit them to their houses, and they come here to visit me in my house. So the relationship between me and them, it's very strong. But what's the problem that we face it all the time? We do not have that enough time to visit everybody. So then after that, we created a new idea. In every trip or in every visit to our friends' countries like Malaysia, I told you Malaysia, for me, I consider Malaysia my second home because I go to there about 5 times every year. So I used to make like dinner invitation and invite all my friends to this dinner invitation, not because of business, but just to say hi and just to tell them you are on our mind all the time. So at the end, we are humans. Okay, not okay. Everybody, I know that he worked for money, and money is important just to cover your life needs. But you have all the money, you become billionaire. What you will do with this money? This is my life, honestly. So the most important thing for me is the relationship that I believe that everybody running to you can spend a lot of money just to win one brother. So this makes our company successful. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Now we have very, very good relationship with everybody. Okay, and just to let you know, some people also, honestly, they do not have enough money to cover their expenses, to travel to our country or the countries that we cover. Okay, sometimes people, they cancel in the last minute, and seriously, before I send a cancellation fees invoice, I ask why this person canceled his trip. Maybe for something serious, admitted to the hospital, or someone passed away, or something like that. So here we give full refund because at the end we are human. Some people, they do not have money. We support them. Also, we give like prizes every year. About 5 or 6 people can come to our country free of charge. So this is in our history, and we are very, very happy to do this. And seriously, anybody face any problem regarding the financial issue from this site, I want to give a message. We are ready to host him, and he will be one of our family members, inshallah Rabbil Alameen.
MashaAllah. No, I think a good relationship is a foundation for many, many good things in the future. And yeah, you have a point there, Brother Ahmed.
Alhamdulillah.
Brother Kamran, what makes Bosnia a unique destination?
Okay. Before I launch, I'm just warning you because Maghrib time is coming. You can see it's been getting darker while we're talking, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Anyway, so
Okay.
Because I didn't have my lights on there, but yeah, Bosnia itself is unique, and I'll explain that. And also, I believe why we are unique as well, why we win awards for the work we do. So Bosnia is unique. Just if you give one line, it's Islam in Europe, right? That's something which doesn't really, and it's the biggest subject today, right? Islam and the West, right? Debate. Well, what's the relation? So for that itself, there's a whole bunch of issues. You can go and visit Bosnia and have all those questions answered. People we've had coming from every part of the world. I remember an Australian person saying, "Okay, I've traveled everywhere, but there's something very different about this place." Sarajevo itself, city, it's a small city. It's battered and bruised. It's had its but it's got a soul and it's got a spirit. And I tell people you can actually feel. I don't know. I've never been anywhere. You can actually feel a city, right? It's small. It's nothing special, but it's got a soul in it. And I know why it's got a soul, because the center of the old town, which is about 500 years old, the governor, 500 years old, 500 years ago, the Ottoman governor, his name is 𝗧𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃𝗃, he built waqf. He made the whole place waqf. So the marketplace is waqf, the masjid, the soup kitchens, the college, the institutions around the library. So all of this has got, I'm convinced, has got something about it where you feel it when you go in there. Because people come in and they can't explain it, right? So it has to be felt. So one thing is just Sarajevo itself. It's, when you compare to other cities, it's nothing special when you look at it. It's got a beautiful surroundings, but it's got something else. So that's one area. The other area is, of course, the stories. Because as Brother Aftab and Brother Ahmed mentioned, it's all about people, really. And I'm really glad to hear that both of them were emphasizing that. Also, Bosnian people are very friendly, but also they have a story, right? Because it's 500 years, 600 years of Islam in Europe, being pulled from the East and then the West and all that sort of stuff, which is, I think, fascinating. I'm not Bosnian, but I'm talking about the stuff which I'm interested in as a foreigner. So I'm looking through the foreign eyes. So I like to take people to those places where you can really learn a lot. So there's the stunning beauty, nature, the people, the history. There's also education, and that's something I didn't mention last time because maybe it's considered negative, but also it's important. It's about the story of genocide, because obviously genocide was committed there. So we also take them to places where there was mass murder. It's not something as a tourist would think, but it's part of the experience, right? Because you have to learn that, okay, so easy, you can live with everyone, friends and neighbors, and then suddenly how easy it is for people to be brainwashed by the media and by politics. So it's something very it's a part of reality in Bosnia, and as part of our work also, we like to get people involved with the local communities, and we're also a bit of a social enterprise, so a percentage of our profit goes back towards the Muslim community in Bosnia, and we have other plans to do projects to support the locals. So a lot of our guests, when they come, they have opportunities to spend money and meet some families where they're single mothers, youth, sponsor some students, orphans. So they get involved in that. So we like to make it interactive, and they really enjoy that as well. I mean, it's of course up to them, of course. So I think Bosnia, I can also summarize in saying there's a whole human cycle of emotion, from tragedy to beauty to all that sort of stuff. So it's like a whole bunch of experiences. But again, it revolves around people. So yeah, that's my take on that.
Okay, perfect. I'm still unsure where to go, but if I go to any of these places, you'll be the first ones to know.
You visit all 3 places.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
That would be good.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could stay here the whole day, but I'm afraid time is against us. I really want to appreciate and thank you for your time, for being here. Thank you very much, Brother Aftab. Thank you very much, Brother Ahmed. Thank you very much, Brother Kamran. It has been a really pleasure to be here with you guys and to have heard such an amazing background stories and overview about each destination. And I think this will be beneficial for, inshallah, for future traveling in each of the countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum. So thank you very much for attending this session. It has been a great and exciting moment for the World Halal Tourism Exchange. And it's the end of our eTourism Revolution talks. And in this case, we've finalized with the IBN Battuta Footstep series, part 2. So it has been really exciting to have so many guests during these 3 days. And I thank you of everyone for participating and attending the sessions with us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you.